Welcome to Beneath the Plates. I'm Jared Allrod. Let's get this episode started. All right. Today we are talking Summer Smash. I'm actually going to change this because it's distracting me. That's much less distracting. So, Summer Smash. First off, what is Summer Smash? Well, if you're Andy Frisella, then you would probably say that Summer Smash is the premier party of the year. Now, I don't know about that. I don't know what all's out there, but I will say it was pretty great. It is a First Phorm sponsored summer. It's hard to describe. Like, in one sense, I could call it a hip hop festival, and I wouldn't really be wrong. I could call it an open gym to come and work out at First Phorm headquarters, and I definitely wouldn't be wrong with that. I could say that it's a tour for the First Phorm headquarters, and that'd probably be the least accurate compared to all three of those so far. I could say it was a get-together with a bunch of other like-minded fitness people. So basically, First Phorm is they call it a party. Really, the party part, as I'm spitting at you guys, the party part is Saturday, and they open it up, I think at 3 it opened up, and it's like a carnival. Like, you go in there, and there's a Ferris wheel. I wrote it. There's all kinds of games. There's some food vendors. There's, like, the Marines were there doing push-up or pull-up challenges, and then they had I think an ammo box that they were doing, like who could lift it the most times in like 60 seconds or something like that. There was free tattoos. There was hair braiding that was not free. There was so much going on. There were different cars to look at, cool cars, different stuff like that to look at. And then they had at whatever time it started. Then there was the concert. The Anheuser-Busch Clydesdales were there. They didn't miss the party. And then there was the actual concert part, where we had, first it was, well, Andy was there and he came out and talked. We had Lil Jon was up first, and then it was, who was next? It was T-Pain, and then it was two friends. I almost said three friends because they have a third one who does the saxophone, so some people were joking that they should call them three friends. Two friends for the EDM. It was awesome. That part was fun. I am not a big concert person. I don't know if I've ever been to a secular, aka non-Christian concert, with the exception of like fairs with my wife. We would go to like and see country singers because I hate country music, and but I'd go and see at different fairs or different art and stuff with her. Other than that, I don't know if I have actually been. I know most of my concerts growing up were Christian concerts. So anyways, so I almost didn't go to that part, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed Two Friends, and I enjoyed all of it, but I particularly enjoyed Two Friends and the EDM. It was a lot of fun. So, but that was, for me, that was the smallest part of the entire time. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday we get up and come home. I drove because I don't really watch the news, but enough of it filters through that I'm a little afraid of flying right now, to be honest. Too many planes are not staying up, and I know that makes no sense because statistically speaking, I have a much better chance of getting a car accident. But anyways, I drove. So from northern Nevada, Ely, Nevada, I drove all the way to Springfield, Missouri. Technically, their area is Fenton. We did go in Missouri for 2 different events. So I drive out there. That road trip alone was fun. I did like most of the driving the first day and a little bit the second day. I just was like downing energy drinks and listening to audiobooks, and boom, got there pretty quick. Didn't stay at a hotel overnight. I pulled into a rest stop at like 1:30 in the morning, I think, and I made up a little bed in my back of my car, lay all the seats down, and I have a exercise mat, like a tri-fold exercise, like stretching mat that I laid down, took a pillow, all that kind of stuff, slept. So I slept from like, I think I was probably asleep around 2, lay down around 1:30, pulled in, used the restroom, brushed my teeth, that whole thing, and then went to sleep. Got up, I don't know, like 5 o'clock, I think, and got back on the road and made it there. So checked in the hotel, wait back up, not quite so easy there. I got hit by a tornado. Like, literally, legitimately, this tornado just rolled right over me. So, we're going to take a minute. We're going to talk about my tornado experience. So, I'm driving, and I'm in Missouri at this point. I went straight across, went through Colorado, go through Kansas. I'm in Missouri. I'm like 22 miles from Vinton, from my hotel in Vinton. And I'm Marco Poloing. If you don't know, Marco Polo is an app. It's like being able to send video text messages back and forth. It's really cool. It works out really well for me and family in different time zones and stuff to be able, because you can send them. Anyways, it's an app. Go look it up. And so I'm like Marco Polo, my wife, and it starts raining, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go, because I have the phone like right here. Where's my phone? So I'm like yelling into the phone, like right like this, right, with it right by my face. I'm like, I don't even know if you can hear me, because the rain it sounded like golf balls were honestly hitting the car. And so I'm like, I'm gonna go. And I get off the phone. Now, mind you, back up, she's been worried. I've not really been paying attention to this too much, but she's been worried because she's like, you're going through Tornado Alley and it's tornado season. There's been tornadoes. There was a tornado in like the Fenton area, like a couple weeks, I think 2 weeks before I was even going out there. So she's like, I'm worried about you. I'm worried about the tornadoes. Yeah, no big deal. She's like, I'm gonna be praying for you. I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't even pray for it because I'm like, other than my normal, like, keep me safe on the road, I'm not thinking too much about tornadoes. That will prove to be a mistake. So I'm driving. I get off the phone. I get off, Marco with her, and because it's too loud, the rain's too much. And then on my watch, which I'm not actually wearing right now, but my Apple Watch, the car dashboard, and my phone, which I'm using for directions, so that's like propped up, right? All start blaring, and it's like tornado warning. And I'm like, yeah, okay, no big deal, I would visit family in Oklahoma, and we'd have tornadoes in the area. I, lived in Virginia. We had a couple tornado warnings. And I was like, wait a minute. Tornado warning or tornado, alert? Or is it alert? Whatever it is. So I'm thinking back, which one is the more dangerous one? One just means a tornado can happen, and one is touching down. Excuse me. One's like touching down. And I remember thinking to the meme, it's like tornado alert. And it showed like all the ingredients to a taco. Lettuce, tomato, ground beef, the taco shell, sour cream, salsa. It's all sitting on the counter. It's all here. All the ingredients are here ready to go. That's a tornado alert. Tornado warning is, and it showed a picture of an actual made taco. I'm like, wait, I think this is the bad one. I think that means like a tornado is like gonna land touchdown at any point. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start looking out, paying attention. Like if I see a tornado coming, like I'm gonna gun it. Like I'm gonna go, like I know I can do 120 in my car. I've done it before. And this is I'm on the East Coast. This is the 64 East. Like this is like a nice highway speed limit of 70 anyways. So I'm like, not that I think I can outrun a tornado, but if I see one touchdown way off in the distance, like, yeah, I can probably outrun the tornado. Like, I know they can go, a couple 100 miles an hour, but like, we're not expecting an F5 here. An F1 is 100 miles an hour. I can go 120 if I can see it. So I'm like, I'm gonna start watching. So I'm looking, can't see anything. It's all dark, just dark, gray skies. Like it's daytime and it's now like almost nighttime just because of the clouds that come in. So I'm like, that's not really gonna work because it would literally just sneak up on me. Like I'm just gonna be driving and all of a sudden it's gonna like boom, and it's gonna like I'm gonna be like the cow and Twister, like flying away. And I'm like, okay, this is probably not good. And I start to get a little worried. And now I've never been in a situation where I felt like I was having a near-death experience. This was legitimately like my first time that I was ever like, oh, I could actually die. Like this is not good. And so I'm driving and I'm like, okay, let me see what that alert actually said. So I have the little touch screen like console. So I touch it and this big old like multi-paragraph thing comes up. And I'm like, I can't read that. But something stands out. Something catches my eye, as you will. And so I look at it and it says, if you are in a vehicle, get out and get to a basement or a shelter. I'm in a vehicle. It is telling me to get out of my car. So at this point I realized, okay, a tornado alert is what I was saying is no big deal. This is a tornado warning. This means there's legitimately a tornado. Like, somewhere around me that I can't see. And then so I'm Marcoing, and so I Marco a friend of mine, and I get off the thing, and I'm like, what is that sound? Like, there's like a truck or something. Now don't worry, it's not where you think I'm going with the whole train sound. So I roll down my window. Oh, those are tornado sirens. And I look and I can see them off in the distance, like in the parking lots. I'm like, oh, for like 5 minutes I've been hearing tornado sirens. I just thought it was some truck next to me. And I realized, no, these are, so this is about the time I realized that's when I start to have that meme, like the ingredients versus taco. I'm like, okay, this is bad. Like, I'm literally driving through like a giant bullseye for a tornado. And I see the message. I'm like, ooh, this isn't good. So then it gets really bad. It's raining like crazy. There's enough water on the freeway that we could be. Sorry, I'm in the east interstate. There's enough water in the interstate that I'm like, I could hydroplane. I have like no visibility. I'm literally driving. I'm following the car in front of me by their emergency flashers. Oh, by the way, the speed limit's 70. We're going like 34 at this point. At one point, I think we get down to like 19. So we're driving, between like 19 and like 34. And I'm literally following. I'm like, oh, I should probably turn mine on. That's how I can see the person in front of me. And so I'm literally just driving. I don't see the freeway. I don't see the cars in front of me. I think I see, I don't really see, the one over, I see a little bit of a truck. But I'm mostly just following the emergency hazard lights flashing. And we're going super slow. So then it's getting worse. The wind starts picking up. The wind is just whipping through like crazy. So every time we get to an overpass, cars start to peel off. 3-4 cars will like peel off either in front of me or behind me and just park up under the overpass. I'm like, this is getting pretty serious. This is getting like pretty bad. So I'm like, well, what do I do? Like, do I do the same thing? Like, should I get under the overpass with them? And I'm like, I saw that Twister movie, that remake. That didn't help them people. I'm like, the only one who survived from being under there is the one girl, but she was the main character. She had plot armor, okay? I'm like, that didn't work for them. I'm like, if I'm gonna die from a tornado, it's gonna be fighting. I'm gonna go down fighting. Like, I'm gonna literally be driving my car and like a stop sign is gonna come through the window and just decapitate me. Like, I'm not gonna huddle and cower under an overpass and let the tornado suck me out, kicking and screaming at like a little kid, right? Not gonna happen. I'm going down fighting. This is literally all going through my mind, and I'm getting more nervous. I'm like, no, like, this is it. Like, I mean, it's not that I'm going to die, but I could literally die. Like, there'd be no warning. I'm just gonna be driving, all of a sudden it's gonna go and come on by, and that's the exact sound it would make as my body is sucked apart, right? I'm kidding. I know that's not how tornadoes work. But, like, it could come up from behind me. It could come up next to me. It could just drop down in front of me. Like, I can't even see the freeway. So if it drops down in front of me, like, I don't even know, like, where I'm going. What if I'm driving off? I don't even know where I am. Like, I can't see anything. So, like, this is getting pretty bad. So then I have the thought, like, I should Marco my wife. And, like, I should, like, record like a message, like, and tell her I love her and tell the kids I love them just in case I don't make it. And I'm like, wait, no, because what happens if I'm Marcoing her and then the tornado comes and sucks me up and I just start screaming and you hear noises and then I'm dead? Like, that's probably worse. So I'm weighing these out now. I'm like, what is worse? Like her not hearing from me for a couple days and like knowing a tornado went through and like thinking, did he die? Did he not die? Did he lose his phone? And eventually finding out I died. Or like listening to a message from me as I'm literally actively dying. I'm like, that might be worse. So what I do the next best thing, I message my friend. Because I'm like, he can go. I don't care if he has to go through therapy. He can hear me die. But I want them to at least know what happened. So I message him. Yep. He can hear me get decapitated or roll, get sucked out of the air, and he can deal with the years of therapy. Okay, that's my thought, and then he can tell my wife that, yeah, he didn't make it, right? So she's not wondering for days. So I'm driving, and then I start like reviewing my life, to be honest. And that's not something we're going to maybe go into this episode. Maybe a future episode we can talk about some of that. But I start like, not that it's flashing before my eyes. Like it didn't flash before my eyes, but it's literally like I'm reviewing like, what have I accomplished in my 40 years? What am I, like, am I okay to go right now? Okay, no, I'm not okay to leave my family. But other than that, am I okay to go? I start thinking about like, well, I don't like this. I don't like this. I would like to do this. I'd like to change this. And I'm like, well, crap. Like, I have regret. Like, I would literally, if I die right now, the way I'm living my life, I would have regret. I'm like, I don't like that. So that starts to get like upset me, and honestly makes me a little emotional. Like I had to like hold back from crying, and I was like kind of choking up a little bit because I'm like, well, I don't mind going, but I don't want to go with regret. And I legitimately, if I die right now, I have regret. So I kind of start praying, and I'm like, Lord, like I need your help. Like I'm not ready to go. Like I have things I still need to do. It's like and I'm in a bad situation here. Like there's really nothing I can do, and this is not a good situation. Like I need your help through this. And then at one point, I actually told this story on Sunday. At one point, so my goal in life is to not be the kind of person who okay, let me back up for a second. I've experienced like, near-death situations before, mostly hiking with my dad in Yosemite. And I've never, like, in my mind, never thought this could be it. I'm like, nah, it'll be fine. We'll make it through. This is the first time, right? So my goals, like, I would think one of my goals in life would be to not be one of those guys who negotiates with God. God, if you do this, I will do this. If you save me from this tornado, I will do this. So, like, I don't want to be that guy. And I'm purposely like, Lord, I'm not going to sit here and negotiate with you. I'm just asking you for help. Like, I need help. But then at one point, like, I'm getting particularly stressed, mind you, so I look out the windows, I see the trees just like laying down, it's windy, I start to notice that, so I'm like, oh, I don't even have to die by a tornado, the debris can take me out, thus the stop sign, decapitating me image enters my head. And so then I'm like, well, I can't really see debris coming, but I can see that there's debris flying around. Oh, the debris is flying in a circle, not straight across. I'm like, this is bad. Like a tornado is literally getting ready to touch down right by me. Like crap is flying in circles. The trees are laying down. Everything, all the branches that are breaking off, they're flying in circles. And then it kind of lets up a little bit, and the rain is less, and then it's actually kind of serene. Like these, to me, they look like big maple trees, but there's no maple trees around. I don't know what these maple leaves. And I'm like, these leaves just kind of like, again, they don't match the trees on the side of the road, but these leaves kind of start like kind of coming down, and it's kind of, I'm like, oh, I made it through. Didn't get hit by a tornado. It's peaceful. I'm gonna make it. I've got like 18 miles left. No, at this point, I think I'm like counting down like 3 miles to get to my next highway, and then it's like another like 17, 18 miles, 20 miles, something like that. So I'm like, I got like 22 miles. I need to get off this highway. Maybe it'll change directions and it'll be better. And it kind of calms down, and I'm like, oh, okay, good. So then I get off the freeway, get off the highway, and then it kind of picks up again, and it gets bad again. And then I get out of it, and I make it to the hotel, and I'm just fine. So I get to the hotel. I'm a little shooken up, not gonna lie. I pull up. Luckily, it's the South, so everything's brick. So I'm like, well, even if it hits, like, we're in a brick building. A lot better than the car that the internet wants me to get out of. I'm like, there could literally be a storm cellar like 10 feet from my car, and I wouldn't know it was there. Like, so I'm not getting out of my car. If I'm dying, I'm going down fighting. So, okay. So I get there, and like, I go, and I'm still a little shooken up. Everyone's like watching the news, like, oh yeah, da-da-da. And they're like talking about the town I just drove through. I can't remember the name of it. So I'm now in Fenton. I get off, I move, I get in Fenton. They're talking about this town, and I'm like, that's literally where I just was. And so I'm kind of like I said, a little shooken up. Okay, so I get there. So late at night, I get there, I'm kind of emotional. I'm like, man, and I'm mostly like the weight of like, I had regrets. Like I got to work on some of this stuff. I'm like, I need to like remember this moment and not just let it pass. Like, yeah, okay, no big deal. I need to like really like write this stuff down and focus on this stuff. So I grab my little, Kindle Scribe, and I take some notes. I do some journaling. I call my wife at some point. I'm talking to her. Well, then later that night, getting ready to go to bed. I'm in bed and like, well, let me look it up, because if it was a tornado warning, that means a tornado touched down somewhere. Let me see how close to me it was, because there could have been one just a couple miles from me. It could have been pretty close. So I start looking it up. That's when I realized I got hit by it. It didn't touch down next to me. It literally went right over me. So I see on there that the tornado rolled right over the 64, which is what I was on. Some guys talking about how he was going west and how it basically hit him. He pulled over. He was one of the guys who pulled over. He just pulled over on the side of the road and was like, no, that's right. He's smarter than I am. He pulled over the side of the road, jumped out and ran it. No, he got off, which I don't know how he got off. I couldn't hardly see anything. He gets off the highway, the interstate, and he goes and he pulls up next to like a building, and he like huddles his car right up against it. And he said an employee like pops out of a door and it's like, come in. So he's like in some bar, Buffalo Wild Wings, I think. So he's like trying to, I'm just thinking, up against the building. And they're like, no, get in here. And so they pull him into Buffalo Wild Wings, and they're like hunkering the storm. I don't do that. I'm too dumb. I keep going. I'm like, the last thing I want to do is get off the interstate. I'm like, I don't want to get off and get stuck or what. I don't know. I'm trying to make it through it. I'm praying and I'm just trying to make it through it. I just want to be out of this situation. So, yeah. Then I get there. I'm looking up. I go, and he's talking about. And he mentions, and then the leaves coming down. And I realized, because they show the traffic cam of the tornado go through, and him talking about it in the comments. And I realized they said where it was, and I was like, oh, that literally hit me. That tornado actually hit me. Like, it went over. So I'm like, well, clearly I'm alive. Like, it wasn't an F5. What was it? It must have been like an F1. I don't know. Maybe an F2. Maybe it was like not even considered an F1. Maybe it was something lower. Let me look it up. Sure enough, it was an F1. It was winds of 100 miles an hour. Man, we get winds here in Ely of 60 miles an hour. But those extra 40 miles in spinning in a circle. Okay, that's what I was going to say is I never want to be the person who would bargain with God. God, if you do this, I'll do this. If you give me this tornado, I'll do this. But at one point, I think my subconscious takes over, and I'm having that thought of, this is crazy. I mean, we get 60 mile an hour wind in Ely all the time. We're on top of a mountain and we have no trees. I was like, but this is insane. Like, these trees are bending over. This is more. And I literally, and I say, I don't know if I say it out loud. I think I say it to myself, but I remember it as if I said it out loud. I literally say, if I survive this tornado. So I guess maybe I technically didn't say it to God, but I'd been talking to God. It's close enough. I said, if I survive this tornado, I will never complain about the wind in Ely ever again, because we complain about the wind here all the time. It's really annoying. It blew our fence down last year. We had to have like $2,000 to have the fence repaired. All kinds of stuff. It's annoying, right? We'll have events, and it just messes up outdoor events. All kinds of stuff. So I'm like, I will never complain again. And so far I haven't. My wife has complained about 12 times in the week I've been back about the wind, and I have not partaken of the complaining of the wind. So yeah, man, like I see, I'm looking at my phone, I'm sitting there and I'm like, that tornado, I either drove through it or it rolled right over me. And by the way they described it, I think it just rolled right over me, that tornado. And I'm like, that is insane. So I go, well, how fast? So it was an F1 and the winds were 100 miles an hour. I'm like, I have now been to a tornado. That is crazy. So I'm there, everything's fine. So that's the first night. I kind of calm down, I relax, everything's good. And the next day then is like day one. So this is like my day to my evening to recover from driving and relax and all that. Relax. So then, and it's still stormy outside. My window, I have the view of this beautiful pool. Never got to use it because even though it was June, it was terrible weather. So then I go into First Phorm, right? We wait in line. Do the whole thing. We come in. I got the I'm still wearing my bracelet. And this is a shirt I got there. And so I do the whole sign up thing. So when we go in, I get in a little early. Some others have to go register. Me and a bunch of other people already have our stuff. And so we are able to just, go right in and get it. And so start shopping. Like I said, I bought the shirt, bought a bunch of things, bought some shorts, got So I bought some protein powder, gooey butter cake. I actually went back later and got more protein powder of gooey butter cake. So I'm shopping. I'm like kind of overwhelmed. Like this place, it's packed. It's the store, this merch store, and it's super busy. And I'm like walking around. We're like, it's like Black Friday, looking at everything, and I end up like getting way more than I thought. I had a $40 voucher. I was gonna buy something with my $40 voucher. I ended up spending like $220, on stuff. Got the event shirt, got this shirt, got shorts, got 2 headbands for the gym, got the protein powder, picked up my 4-pack of energy drinks, but I had a voucher for those, so those were free. What else did I buy? Oh, I bought a jersey, a First Phorm baseball jersey. So it ended up being like $220, $222, I think it was $220 exactly with change. So I waited in the longest line of my life, and I just went like a month and a half ago, went to Disneyland with my wife. Like this line, I spent like 4 hours in this line, and it winded all the way back, and we're circling through. So for next year, I now know if I go next year, I'll get there, and I will not go to the merch. I will immediately go over to the gym, because they said the gym was empty and there was like no one there. Everyone's here. So finally get through this line. Then I go to the gym, put myself in the car, go to the gym. Well, now the gym's packed. So you'll see, if you go back and watch some of the videos, I'll make a playlist with, Summer Slash 2025. Gym is packed. So now I'm like, man, I did this wrong. I should have done the gym first, gotten out, and then gone and gotten all my merch and gotten in line. And nothing had sold out that early, so it would have been fine. But the gym was amazing, though. Even packed, it was amazing. My actual favorite part of the entire event was the 2 days in the open gym. Their gym, I gotta tell you, is phenomenal. And I would have paid the ticket price just to go and work out in the gym for 2 days. Well, and then also getting to see how they run everything was really impressive. I kept getting the sense of like the way everything was ran, it was really done really well. I'm like, this is like a mega church, like the way this is done, like the professional of everything and how well everything's done. So the gyms were, I would definitely say, would be my favorite. I think my second favorite would probably be the live recording of Cruise the Internet and the Real AF podcast, standing there and getting to see Andy and DJ do the podcast live, standing around a bunch of other fans of the podcast. That was really cool. That was probably my second favorite thing. So then each night, so we're there during the day, that's Thursday, we check in, work out, and then that night, there's an event. So we go to Ball something park, I don't remember. It basically looks like Downtown Disney for sports fans. So we go there, and it's basically, we have the entire top floor is reserved for us. You have to be First Phorm to get up there. The bottom part is still fine. What was it? Ball something park? Ball something park? I don't know. There's a game going on, and just the whole top area is just all bars and hangout area. So like one bar you go on, and there's a balcony area, and you can watch the baseball game. So I watched a little bit of the game. Some of the Cardinals game, and then different areas. So I ended up finding, because I don't drink, so, and everyone else was there as either a couple, a family, or a group of friends. So I didn't know anyone, and so I talked to some people, and I made some friends with some guys walking in. But then, I kind of broke off, and I found a room, like a bar. It was kind of empty area. It was like leather seats and books. I'm like, yeah, this is my kind of scene. So I kind of hung out there for a little bit. They had energy drinks around, so I was drinking Red Bulls instead of alcohol. So I'm drinking Red Bulls, and then I found kind of like a surf kind of room, and you could see it was open. You could see the arches. I hung out there for a little bit, and then I was like, "Where's the food? There's supposed to be food." So I realized it was downstairs. I go downstairs. I get some pizza. It was really good, and then I just kind of hang out for a while. And then about 9:30, there's a PBR bar. And went in there a few times, but then it started getting a little rowdy. Like people are bull riding, people start dancing, and about 9:30. So this I think starts at 7. About 9:30. Okay, listen. I used to be a wedding videographer, and then years later a wedding photographer. I have a pretty good sense from doing that when a room shifts. Okay, it goes from when you do a wedding, there's the wedding, then you go to a reception, and it's the wedding reception. And then at some point it shifts, and it's no longer a wedding reception. It's now a party, and people are just drinking and dancing. Okay, and that's typically when we would check in with the bride and groom. Hey, anything else you want? Okay, all right, we're gonna take off. Because we're not gonna stay there all night and just record drunk people dancing. So we got everything we needed, and now we are going to take off. So I kind of start to notice about 9:30. I notice that shift. I'm like, this is changing. This is no longer a just social meet and greet. This is starting to turn a little bit to a party. Hung out for a few minutes, kind of seeing what was going on, and then I'm like, all right, I think it's time to go. So I head out, and I go back to the hotel, and I just kind of, I rest and stuff that night. So it was fun. I go to a Wally's, I think. It's like a Buc-ee's, but it's a different one. And there's some other people there too. I'm like, oh, you guys, you leave a little early too? They're like, yeah. And so we're all kind of like at this gas station grabbing snacks, going back to our hotel. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then, of course, the next day we get there. I go into the gym. Another great workout. It's even more packed. Somehow I'm like, I'm going to go straight to the gym first thing, like right when they open. There's like a huge line before I can even get in. We get in, go through security, we finally get in. Thing is packed, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to shift. I'm going to not use my workout plan. I'm just going to do my own thing because I need to spend as much time on one machine as possible. Like I can't be jumping from machine to machine because it's hard to get a machine. It was a back day, and I ended up using like a 2-hour workout, just 2 machines. I think, yeah, that day was just 2 machines. And I just did huge amounts of sets. And I did variations. I did both arms. I did one arm. It was a good workout. Some guys worked in with me at one point. Great workout. High volume on 2 machines. I was like doing all the variations. I'm like, I don't know if I'll have another machine after this, so I got to be careful. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a great workout. Again, the highlight of my trip was those 2 workout days. So I do that workout. It's kind of raining a little bit, get a little wet. I'm super sweaty after that. In fact, I'm walking out with someone who, one of the employees, and he's like, man, I know you pulled some weight today. He's like, what'd you do? Like, I'm like, it was back day. This is what I did. And because I was just like drenched in sweat. And I don't normally sweat, but it's humid there. So I'm like super sweaty. And I had a crazy workout. Because who's going to pass up? Like, you're not just going to sit around. 1, because someone's going to want your machine if you're just sitting around. And 2, this is an awesome opportunity. Why would you pass it up? So that's that day. This is Friday now. Do that workout. And then I go check out the car show kind of towards the tail end. Before the car show, that's when I did the podcast, both Cruise the Internet and the Real AF podcast. And then I went over to the store. I bought some more protein powder. I wanted to get, and then I think an event shirt because they didn't have my size. So I get an event shirt. I get some protein powder. I go back to my hotel, hang out for a little bit. That night, then we go to Anheuser-Busch. That was fun. I get there and immediately, so I wore, on that second day, I wore my need prayer, tap my shoulder. If you need prayer, tap my shoulder shirt. So I walk up there, and this young girl when I say young girl, I think she's like 19, 20, 22, something like that. Young lady walks up to me. And I'm like, why? She's walking up to me. And she's like, "Are you the guy?" He's like, "Were you wearing the shirt about tap my shoulder for prayer?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "That's really cool. I think that's really cool." So she's like, "I wanted to talk to you, but then by the time I went back to find you, you were gone." So we connected on Instagram. She's like, "Hey, what's your Instagram?" So she is also a Christian fitness. I don't know what she calls herself. Trainer, influencer. But anyways, so she's got devotionals and she's got workout content. She actually kind of inspired me. I think I'm gonna start doing some devotional type stuff. I've been thinking about doing a once a week thing, but I'm like, maybe in my 75 hard vlogs, maybe I'll throw in a little daily devotional. I don't know. We'll see. So ended up following her back. I'm actually gonna probably reach out to her to see if she wants to be a guest on the podcast. Not the first guest, but one of the first guests. I got my buddy Doug is gonna be, I'm gonna be interviewing with him pretty soon. So I'll probably reach out to her and see if she wants to be a guest on the podcast because she seems pretty cool. Made that connection with her there. Getting stuck in my hair. It's getting poofy. So yeah, that Anheuser-Busch event was pretty cool. It was kind of the same thing. It was kind of like the same thing except for the food was free this time. It was catered, really good food. Kind of walking around mingling, different bar areas, energy drinks everywhere. And then a couple things that were different for this one. One is I got to see a podcast, another podcast getting recorded, and it's Andy Frisella, Dana White, and then the guys from what's their podcast? I can't remember. Some of the word bros in it. I don't know. Some of the word bros in it. And they're like Barstool guys. And so they're interviewing, mostly, like Andy's there, but it's mostly interviewing Dana White. So it's pretty cool. First they're talking about gambling, and then they go into, and so it's a pretty cool podcast. Stand out there. It's actually raining, so just stand in the rain for that. And then we just kind of get, like, we kind of just flood into the rest of Anheuser-Busch, which was really cool to just tour their facility. I got to see the Clydesdales. I also saw them the next day at the party. The Clydesdales, there was a DJ there. I didn't really hang out for that too much, but I got to, so what else did I see? They were shooting shirts off in a cannon. I caught one of those. Don't really need the shirt. It's a Michelob Light shirt. Can't really wear that. But it was wrapped in a First Phorm drink cozy, so that was kind of cool. It was just kind of cool to catch it. What else did I do there? There's one thing I'm going to tell you about in a second. So I walk around. What else did I see? Well, okay, I'll tell you about the cool part. So then there's this gate. I see some people walking, and I just start following them. I'm like, okay. And all of a sudden, like, I see them walk into a building. I'm like, oh, they must know someone here. And I'm like, this is like a machine shop. I'm like, this is the Anheuser-Busch machine shop. Like, why would they let us in here? Like, this is weird. So I keep walking, and then, like, one lady's like, she's like, we're trying to find the Clydesdales, which I found them later. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know where they are. I'm just, like, following you guys. I talked to another guy, and he's like, I don't think we're supposed to be back here. I think someone was supposed to be posted. I think someone screwed up. Like, someone's supposed to be posted. I'm like, yeah, probably. I don't see why we should be here. There's, like, all this crazy factory stuff above us. The machine shop's over here, all this stuff. So he keeps going one way, I go another. I turn down this alley, and I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm in an 80s movie. Like, it was cool looking, like all the stuff, and I'm like, this feels like I'm in an 80s movie or something. Last Action Hero, or Big Trouble in Little China, or something like that, right? And I'm like, yeah, we're probably not supposed to be back here. So I'm like recording, getting some cool shots and stuff for the vlog. And I start walking back, and a security guard comes up. He's like, oh, wait, come here. He's like, you're not supposed to be back here. And I'm like, yeah. It's kind of why. He's like, yes, that gate was supposed to be closed. He's like, someone didn't close it, but that gate was supposed to be closed. And so he's just like talking to me. Like, we're like hanging out at this point, because we got quite a ways to walk, because this facility is huge, and I'm way in some random corner. And so he's like, yeah, man, this place like creeps me out. He's like, first off, we're not even supposed to be over here without hard hats. With the security guards, we get yelled at about that all the time, because if we don't have a hard hat on, we're not supposed to be over here. He's like, and there's a bunch of stuff over here that scares me. He goes, that building over there, he's like, there's like so much ammonia and other chemicals in there. He goes, if that building exploded, it would blow this whole plant all the way to the street. So it's like 4 blocks, maybe more. Blow this whole thing off the map. I'm like, that's fun. He's like, and then there's this other like silo over here, like full of like grain. He goes, and like, you like walk under it, but he's like, sometimes it just like randomly opens and just drops stuff. He's like terrified to get caught under that. Like, I won't walk under there. And he's like, yeah, this part of the place, it scares me. I don't like being over here. So we walk. It's quite a while. So we're talking, and finally get out, and they close the gate. Go and see the Clydesdales. Oh, that's the other thing. That's what it was. I get like a little mini Willy Wonka tour. So like I go, I'm like, oh, there's people gathering over here. That worked out pretty well for me last time. So I went from the private tour to the official tour. We take this elevator up. It literally felt like Willy Wonka. There's like 50 of us jammed into this like 20-person elevator. And we were like literally like, hi, like that kind of thing. Someone goes, he touched me. Not me, someone else. Like, he touched me. He's like, I did not. And they were just joking around. I think they knew each other. So then we get there, and we have a tour guide. He shows us through like how they make the beer and all this stuff. And this is this thing, and this, oh, look, the chandelier, and da-da-da-da, right? So then we come back out. Then I see the Clydesdales. So it was a lot of fun. So then I'm like, okay, I think I'm good. So I start to head out. I was like, I don't want to be here all night. I'm not going to stay for the concert, and I'm not going to go eat again. I've already gotten quite a bit of food. It was good food. And then, that's when I caught the shirt. And so I get in the car, I head home. And I'd almost left earlier. I was talking to my wife, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to go in. I was out in the parking lot. I was like, I'm going to go back in one more time. That's when I saw all this cool stuff, and I was super glad I went back. So then I go back to the hotel, Wally's again, see some more people, go back to the hotel, kind of hang out. And then the next day is Saturday. So that morning there's a 30 for the kids like fundraiser at De La Salle. I ended up not going to that because like I'm not really part of that fundraiser, and it looked like it was a lot of like CrossFit type workout stuff. I'm like, I think I'm gonna skip that one and save save the energy for later. So I just kind of took care of some other stuff that morning, hung out, went across, like right in the same parking lot. I had a barbecue restaurant. I ended up getting it that Wednesday night when I got in. So I went back, had some barbecue. Anyways, so then I go over this thing at 3 o'clock. We get in, and like I'm not even just trying to describe it too much, but because you just have to go. But they open up the gates, you run in, and all this crazy stuff, super fun. Then the concerts, and then towards the end of the concerts, it starts pouring down rain. So then the concert's over. Andy says goodnight, and we all just like turn and like start running for our cars. There's like some of the food vendors are like holding out boxes of cookies, so like just like snatch up a cookie on my way out. You know, eating the cookie, running in the rain. You know, and then get back to the hotel, and then get up the next morning, head out. I ended up going kind of on my way, a different way. I kind of went down to Oklahoma City, technically Shawnee, a city just like a little area outside of Oklahoma City. Got to see my grandpa, got to spend the night there with him, have breakfast the next morning, get on the road, drive back. Stopped in the Navajo Nation for the night, got a hotel there, and then drove home the rest of the way. And stopped at the Grand Canyon. That was fun. So all together, it was a lot of fun. Summer Smash, like the actual event, the road trip there and back, hanging out with my grandparents, saw my aunt too. So it was all a lot of fun. I would say the highlight of the event was definitely those 2 workouts, with the 2 podcasts being second place, and then the entire trip, obviously, it'd be the workouts and then seeing my grandparents and hanging out with them. So Summer Smash was a lot of fun. It was good. I definitely recommend if you can go. The tickets sell out in like 50 something seconds every year. This was the 10th year. Their first year, it was just like a couple hundred people coming out for a barbecue at First Phorm. And this year it was several thousand people. The tickets, like I said, there are a limited amount of tickets. They sell out in 50 something seconds. I was able to get mine. I got early access as being a First Phorm Legionnaire, so I did get early access. We got a certain amount earlier in the day, and that night they go. And again, it's less than a minute before they're all sold out. So if you can go, I do recommend it. It was a lot of fun, just meeting different people. And so now I'm actually going to start reaching out to people I met and saw and who were there to actually bring on as guests. So you're going to probably start to see a bunch of First Phorm people, like Legionnaires and coaches and stuff like that, because I met so many of them and had a shared experience. And so we have a private group. Just start reaching out to them and be like, hey, would you like to be on the podcast? So you can be looking out for that in future episodes. I don't think I have anything else to say about Summer Smash. I think that was kind of condensing the entire week, Tuesday to Tuesday, down into 43 minutes and 49 seconds. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'll probably refer and talk about it in upcoming episodes. Next episode, my plan is, so episode 4 is going to be my 8 Mile episode, where I just come clean about some stuff and just get everything on the table, presuming that this podcast is one day going to blow up. So there's no controversies or no scandals later on. I'm just going to 8 Mile myself. If you haven't seen that movie, you probably don't have any clue what I'm talking about. And that's going to be next episode. So that should be fun. I'll see you guys in episode 4. Make sure you're following along so you can get a hold of that episode and see what it is I'm talking about. Till next episode, check it out on YouTube as well. Go subscribe there. I've got a 75 hard vlog that I'm doing there. I'm vlogging every single day, little 10-minute or less episodes, like 6 to 10-minute episodes of my workouts, my day of doing 75 hard. I've been trying to do 75 hard unsuccessfully since 2019. I've probably tried 75 hard 8 times. And every single time I have failed. I think the longest I got was like 40 something, almost 50 days in, and I woke up one morning and immediately realized I didn't take a progress picture yesterday. Did everything else, forgot the progress picture. So trying it again, not trying, doing, as Yoda would say. I'm doing 75 hard, gonna successfully accomplish 75 hard this time. 2025 is my year. I'm on day 4, and so far I have recorded every day, and my plan is to record every day. So go to check that out. It's Jared Elrod Becoming Aquaman. It soon will be, if you've seen this in the future, it soon will be Jared Elrod Iron Chaplain, like my name here in the podcast. Go subscribe and follow along with that. And I'll see you next week for episode 4, the 8 Mile episode. Have a great day.